Dealing with hyperhidrosis has been one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever had to deal with. Being ashamed by the sweat mark around my armpits, avoiding touching people's hands, and smearing my notebooks are just some of the issues I had to deal with. That's why I encourage everybody with hyperhidrosis to get a thoracic sympathectomy done. I personally experienced the results of this surgery and they're awesome. They're also life changing and because it stops the heavy sweating immediately and increases the patient's psychological and physical health. Patients with hyperhidrosis have a hard time with daily activities, as uh, various authors mentioned in the Health and Quality of Life Outcomes in 2017. Just choosing what clothes to wear is very difficult because they avoid wearing bright colors because the sweat is more visible, as well as polyester. Shaking people's hands is really uncomfortable, as Brittany Estrin exposed to the American Journal of Managed Care in 2018. Furthermore, just holding a piece of paper in our hands, it's really uncomfortable because the paper gets soaked in just seconds. All of this affects the patient mentally and physically, but this can be solved by undergoing a sympathectomy where um, the nerve affected by it it's cut out and the results are immediately and they're long lasting as the Southern Medical Journal in 2003 mentioned. Also, it is really safe and because there are no more mortality records and not known major complications. For example, mine lasted only 10 minutes and I woke up with warm and dry hands and axilla. As Dr. Neri Cahan from the Greater Baltimore Content Center mentioned, this surgery is very simple and improves the quality of life of the patient, including mentally and physically. Somebody with dry hands have no idea how lucky they are. Nobody would ever imagine how how many negative impacts in the overall health this condition has. In 2019, the Midline Plus mentioned some of these issues and gave solutions like the sympathectomy. It also affects choosing a life career as the Health and Quality of Life Outcomes in 2017 mentioned. Also, it affects the different performance and hobbies. For example, I used to play guitar, but it was really uncomfortable because my fingers would slide through the chords while I was trying to hold them down. Another thing that's affected by hyperhidrosis is touching digital screens. For example, when I was trying to get my fingerprints taken, it would take forever because my my wet fingers would interfere with the scanner. For people with facial hyperhidrosis, just exercising and doing house chores, it's almost impossible. All of these impairments is what causes the social embarrassment and reclusiveness. After the surgery, you can feel is happiness and it's very rapidly. So this is me when I was a kid, drying my hands on my skirt. This is me when I was like 8 or 9 years old, holding a little towel right here. This is me when I was turning 12 years old, holding my little towel over here, and you can see the sweat around my armpit right here. It was really uncomfortable. This is when I was 13 and I found out about this, what hyperhidrosis was. And that's how I used to sweat my hand like that. This is me after the surgery. I was really painful, but I was really happy at the same time. This is me holding my hands after surgery. This is me riding horse without having to hold a towel in my hand. And these are my hands now. They're dry. So as I mentioned before, I couldn't hold anybody's hands. Now it doesn't matter. Before, I had to worry about using my little towel because I would fear I couldn't control my sweating. Now I don't have such issue. Before, I would feel the sweat in my armpits just dripping, and now I don't feel that anymore. Those things are life changing for people who has been suffering from hyperhidrosis forever.